Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of ordering numbers. This is standard 8.2D in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 2 of the 2024 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. All right, we simply need to put these three terms here, and it looks like it's the same three just repeated again and again in order from greatest to least. Okay, so I'm going to kind of just draw a number line here. They're all positive, right? So and I know I've got a 4 point something. So let's just draw some numbers. So that's going to be 2, 4, 6. So like first I could put my 4.84, right? That's going to be right around close to 5. I'll call 4.84. Now we can use calculator. We will to double check our work, but we can actually estimate some of these, right? So 39/8. Really, if we want to, we can just divide up, right? So 8 goes into 39, and that's going to be 4 times, that's 32. Decimal here, and that's going to be almost 9. That's going to be 8. 64. That's going to be 7. 56. So that's going to be a 0.75 here. All right, so 4.875. So that 39/8, we need to now compare 4.84 and 4.875. Easiest thing to do here, let's add a 0 to the thousandths place for the 4.84, because since we've got a 4 in the ones place, let's just look at our two numbers that sit after the decimal, right? 840 and 875. Well, obviously 875 is going to be a little bit bigger than 840. And it's just going to be easier to mentally see that when we've got them both going to the same place value. So I'm going to put this like right here. I'm going to put 4.875, but really what I want to do is I want to write it in the original form. So I'm going to write it as 39/8. Okay, so what we need now is this 24. Now, if we wanted to estimate that, right, what we could do is we could be like, well, square root of 24. How can we factor that? Well, that's going to be square root of 4 times square root of 6. Square root of 4 equals 2, so it's 2 square root of 6, which helps us if we know what the square root of 6 is. We can estimate, right? So square root of 9 is going to equal 3. Square root of 4 is going to equal 2. So square root of 6, right, is somewhere in between there. So it's between 2 and 3. And it's probably a little bit closer to 4 than it is to 9. So, maybe 2.4-ish. And so we can multiply that. So we can say maybe 2 times 2.4. And that's going to be 4.8. But you see how 4.8 lands right where I've been working with these other two? That's too close to estimate. Let's go ahead and just use a calculator here. You can use Desmos if we want to. Let's use our calculator, and let's go ahead and just do the square root. So I'm going to use the second. I need to hit that x squared right up there, and then I'm going to just hit 24. So what do we have? 4.8989. All right, so let's remember that. So we were close, but we need to actually make it a little bit higher. 4.8989. And really, if we want to go to 3 spots, we're just going to say 4.899, so that rounds up. And that 4.899 is actually going to be, right, the largest. 4.899, or square root of 24. So greatest to least is going to be the square root of 24, and then the 39/8, and then the 4.84. So our answer is B.